Hello, friends. This is Erica again with Aurora Heart Healing. And today I have some strange stuff to talk about. Well, maybe not strange. A lot of it has to do with betrayal. I was receiving messages of what exactly it is that we needed to work through together, how to and what to look out for, what to talk about. And you probably don't know this, but none of my work is scripted. I come on here, I know that I'm supposed to talk about something, and I just usually let Source, God, come through and allow me to give you the messages that you need to hear today. I'm going to begin with Brene Brown, Atlas of the Heart. I'm going to be bringing in some new books myself soon. But this one has been very much so a center in a lot of the subjects and topics that I have been working on, probably because she exclusively works on emotions. Betrayal. Betrayal is so painful because at its core, it is a violation of trust. It happens in relationships in which trust is expected and assumed. So when it's violated, we're often shocked and we can struggle to believe what's happening. It can feel as if the ground beneath us has given way. Most betrayal happens among spouses, romantic partners, friends, coworkers, and occasionally family members. I can attest that that's happened in all of them. Most recently, my ex-spouse. The most common types of betrayal include extramarital affairs or cheating on a steady dating partner, lying, betraying confidences, and rejecting or abandoning a partner. When betrayal is the result of physical or sexual abuse perpetrated by a trusted partner or family member, such as in the case of domestic violence or child abuse perpetrated by a parent, it is referred to as betrayal trauma. With betrayal, one of the things that I know for me is that betrayal can be hard to recover from when we do not look at the person as a whole initially when the betrayal happens. When my ex-spouse did everything that he did over the last few months, I felt betrayed, just like she says, shocked. I felt like the rug was pulled from under my feet and I was just left falling and reeling. And it was quite painful. I am not going to lie. And as I continued to notice things, the understanding of who this person I thought was had to align with who the person actually was. And that's something that I think a lot of us struggle with when we are betrayed because we have a perception of the person and then we have the actuality of the person after the betrayal, when we see the whole entire picture of what has happened, what was done. And then from that actuality, that whole perception, we have to piece together both of those realities. The person we thought they were, then the person that they actually are, and then put it together and know how to move forward from there. Betraying someone's confidence, rejecting or abandoning a partner. Abandonment can be emotional or physical, and it is the act of leaving. If someone is emotionally trying to be vulnerable, then this person might not talk about the way that they feel, and that is abandoning the person themselves and abandoning the whole situation. With extramarital affairs, cheating, that's a blatant betrayal. But what about the small betrayals? How many of you have experienced small betrayals that you maybe didn't recognize initially? Abuse, rejection, all of those are very big betrayals that you can see right away. But what about the small betrayals of, well, I just didn't want to hurt your feelings, so I didn't say anything? That's actually a betrayal of trust. What about, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to create problems? That's a betrayal of intimacy. There's a lot of different types of betrayal, but when we think of only the biggest betrayals, then we become shocked at the end because we didn't even see these things coming because of the small betrayals that were constantly happening within the relationship that ultimately ended in the big betrayal. From what I have seen and noticed, one of the big root causes for betrayal is selfishness. And I'm going to read for you the definition of selfishness. What is the true meaning of selfishness? Concerned excessively or exclusively with oneself, seeking or concentrating on one's own advantage, pleasure, or well-being without regard to others, arising from concern with one's own welfare or advantage in disregard to others, is a selfish act. In that selfishness, there is a very big, and I'm looking for another message. I'm just hearing that I need to look for something else through that message that I just read. But through that selfishness, people can betray. They say, well, I'm only thinking about myself in this situation. And where does it leave the people that are left to pick up the pieces? There's been a lot of people that I've been talking to lately, and they have said, how are you okay so quickly? And one of the major reasons why is, first of all, my power to be vulnerable. Because when we are vulnerable, we are acting in courage and bravery and strength. I will say that the first month after this whole thing happened for me, I did not go to my grandma's house because I was ashamed. I was ashamed of the fact that my marriage had failed. I was ashamed of the fact that this person that I had trusted betrayed me, betrayed my trust, betrayed my children. My ultimate shame was that I had brought this person into my life and I had committed to them, and they, like my daughter said, he walked out on all of us. And as I have learned more and more, I see the small betrayals that happened throughout the whole relationship. But my ability to go through and be vulnerable and talk about it with trusted people. I actually got off of social media. I've got off of Facebook because I knew that there was going to be people that wanted to know every little detail, but that weren't truly there for me. The people that I talk to regularly on the phone or call or touch base, they're the ones that I really did talk to about this because I knew that that was the people that were going to be there for me and with me. And as I continuously worked through my own problems too, I asked myself questions. I took responsibility, radical responsibility to heal from this betrayal. what were the signs, the small betrayals that led up to the big betrayal? Because there were a lot of small betrayals that I, in the relationship, didn't see. Someone choosing anything, anybody that chooses anything over you is already priming themselves to betray you. Whether it be spending time with someone else, um, maybe even talking to a dog over you. Those are small betrayals in relationship, in trust, in communication, in whatever the case may be. Psychological betrayals. What if someone calls you a name? What if they say something that's not nice and then they try to laugh it off? That's actually a betrayal of respect. And we may not see it in that moment. Oh, they just thought it was funny. No, it's actually really betraying. And it's selfish too, because they're only concerned about the way that they're feeling in that moment and not the way the other person is feeling. Vulnerability has helped me heal from betrayal, not just now, but in other times in my life, because it was courageous. When I went finally back to my grandma's and I told her, Grandma, I was really ashamed to come here because my marriage has failed. He left me, and I'm not going to chase because I know my worth and I know my value. And I know that I don't deserve how I'm being treated. And I would never teach my girls to treat anyone in the way that he has and be treated the way that I am being treated. And she said, I am proud of you. And that swole my heart. It said, oh, I didn't get that from my mom. I got the same treatment that he was giving me from her. And in that sense, surrounding myself with community is the second thing that truly helped me heal from betrayal. Knowing that I wasn't going to avoid these issues with people. I'm not going to be able to avoid telling everyone what happened, or when people come and ask me, "Hey, where's your partner? You guys are always together." And then I'm like, I don't know where they are. I'm actually divorced now." And when people say, "What happened? What? I'm so sorry." Now I've said, "Please don't tell me you're sorry. This was a blessing." And I am grateful for this person to do what they did, because I would have been stuck in something that was not good for me. And that is something that a lot of people feel weird about, or there's mixed signals. But if someone is purposely betraying you, you don't need that anyway. Selfishness, a lot of the time, is what causes betrayal. And when we, as people that have really big hearts, don't see or don't understand how someone could be so selfish, I know I didn't. I didn't understand that at all. How could you take so much? How could you leave a whole, not just me, but everyone within that family unit? That right there, it's hurtful, painful, but also when I leaned into the community that I had and I saw how selfish those actions were, I was able to speak my truth. And that truth built courage and strength within me, because I'm not the only one that has gone through this. And unfortunately, I probably won't be the last, but I will be a person that speaks out and talks about how we can heal and move forward. because we can move forward from betrayal and selfishness. It may be hard to understand how some people are so selfish because you can see it around you in your life. This morning, I was driving through the school and I got cut off twice. And I just closed my eyes and said, I'm not picking up those bags, meaning I'm not picking up anger from those people. And selfishness comes in the thought. Just this morning, I was telling my daughter when she was telling me how she's feeling better, but she's still very upset about the whole situation. And she said, he just walked out on us. He abandoned us. And I said, I understand. Let's pray for them. Let's pray for all of the people that were involved in this. And let's hope for their hearts to be healed and that selfishness, that lack of character be removed from them. Because betrayal comes from hurt one way or another. It may not be a hurt that even people are going to bring out and talk about, but it's a hurt nonetheless. Avoiding was another thing that helped me heal from the wound of betrayal. Not avoiding. The more that I sat in the energy, the emotions, the understandings, the beliefs, the pain, the more I was able to heal. I have not smoked in years, smoked cigarettes. And during this time, I bought a pack and I smoked quite a bit. And I felt very ashamed. And I reached out to my community and I said, I haven't smoked in years, but I am just so confused, so hurt, so vulnerable, so betrayed right now. I feel a deep sense of despair. And my friend, one of my really good friends, she said, if a cigarette gets you through this, through whatever the hell this person did, because what they're doing and how they've behaved themselves is inhumane, go for it. Do I want to see you doing it? No, I don't want to, but I do know that you are doing the best you can with what you've got right now. And I finished the pack and then I was like, I can't keep doing this. But I also felt empathy towards myself. The times that I fell short from this betrayal, I said, okay, how can I be empathetic towards myself right now? My kids, they were such a huge support system, my community. And I would tell them, you're not responsible for the way that I feel. If I'm crying, you don't have to come to my rescue. And they said, no, Mom, we're not coming to your rescue. We're coming here to support you. And that community through that betrayal was so impactful because they knew that if I were to ever be in the same position that they were, I would be right there wiping their tears too. When I tried to avoid what I was feeling, I was only prolonging that betrayal pain, that wound of betrayal. I was pushing it along further and further for my healing to be delayed, for me to continue to feel what I was feeling, the confusion, the pain, the shock, the anger, the frustration, the disbelief, the disillusion, all of those feelings, the abandonment. If I when I would sit there and I would miss this person, I would ask myself, what am I really truly missing right now? In this moment, what do I miss? Do I miss the goodness or am I missing the warmth of someone being there? And the more that I asked myself these tough questions, the more that I started to see that the emotional support just wasn't there. Physically, they could have been there. Even then, that was sometimes lacking. And is that what I wanted? No. Each time this person was emotionally not supportive, they were betraying. They were 100, there's that saying, death by 100 cuts. Every single betrayal that someone gives us is a small cut. And if those cuts are not tended to and loved and cared for, then we kill our relationships. And there are certain people that will say, oh my God, I cut you. Can I come and help? I want to look at this wound together. There is out there. I see it. I didn't know that before. My perception was so closed that I didn't know that that was out there. But now that I'm looking at healthier relationships and seeing the models for it, I have more of an idea of what to spot and look for that in my future. But if I avoided all of that, would I find it? If I avoided those tough questions of the characteristics of this person, were they giving or were they selfish? Do I miss the giving or the selfishness? Materialistically, who cares? Anyone can give you things, but your heart, that takes courage to give. That takes bravery, resilience. Are we going to be brave and courageous in a relationship together or not? And each time I would answer these questions to myself, I saw more and more how I was projecting potential and not actuality. I don't think these people are bad people that betray, but I do think that they lack moral character because of selfishness. I do think that they don't know how to speak their truth because they fear the uncomfortable. And that's a resilience issue. And as I continued to work through my healing journey, I also looked at my limiting beliefs. Each time my want to avoid came up, I would sit in it and I would say, no, I have to feel this. It hurt, but I have to feel it. And as I continued to check on my beliefs, I found that some of my beliefs were I'll never find someone like this before or again. And then I had to look at myself and I had to think, okay, when have I thought this again? I thought this with the children of my father, the father of my children. I'll never find someone like this. The relationship ended. Do I really want to? Do I want to find someone like this again? Do no one's gonna love me in this way? Was this really love? If this was as selfish and painful as this was, is this truly love? Because the love that I have given, yes, it is stern. Yes, it is strict. It has boundaries, of course, because it has standards. Unconditionally, I love you. And if you make a mistake and you own up and you take responsibility, I will love you through that. But if your mistakes come from selfishness and no accountability is taken, then Yes, my love is conditional because you are willfully hurting me now. And through those beliefs of, oh, I have to love people unconditionally, well, that's a limiting belief too, because truly, if that person were to have, if you were to do the same thing to that person, would they forgive you? They probably wouldn't. And that means that they've placed conditions on the love that they're giving you. Shouldn't you do the same? And this isn't an eye for an eye, it's respect. It's honoring ourselves, honoring who we are and what we have to offer to this world, because what you have to offer is big. It's beautiful. And when you start to look at the little things, you start to heal because you start to see the big picture and it's like, oh, I was in an illusion and the person that betrayed me isn't even real. And now I can move forward. And one of the biggest reasons why I'm so grateful for this is, first of all, it showed me my worth in a deep sense that I never even knew I had. I've looked at my videos and I see from the first few videos, mid videos, and now my videos, and I see a light inside me that I didn't know was dim. And when we're not receiving what we need, what we deserve, then somehow, some way, we don't think that we're worthy. And now I'm able to find a worth inside myself that I didn't know I had. Thank you. So finally, gratitude helped me heal betrayal. Gratitude. Thank you for showing me what I don't need, what I don't want, what I will never accept, what I do want, what I do need, what I will accept, who I am, what I deserve, what I need, and even more, how to recognize it. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because we are all humans on this earth, and some are more attuned to having an open heart, having the ability to self-reflect, to learn, to grow, to know when we're wrong, to know when someone else is wrong, and they may need a little bit more guidance. The words right and wrong are kind of a paradox to me. Some people need a little more guidance, but understanding fundamentally these different tools that I've learned and picked up throughout this time, I don't think I'll ever hurt in a devastating way again. And I hope that this helps anyone listening. If you're going through a divorce or a breakup or a separation, or your best friend stabbed you in the back and they betrayed you, or the list goes on, because humans are human. Find a reason to say thank you. What did you learn from the situation? What have you grown in? What has empowered you? How have you been able to move forward in what happened with your head held high? And if you haven't found that yet, look for the reasons. Clear those limiting beliefs of my life is over, or this is the end. No, it's not the end. It's a new happy beginning. So I challenge you, for the people that may have betrayed you in the past or the people that have betrayed you today, find a reason to be grateful to them. Thank you for opening the door to more people in my life. Over the last couple of months, I've found and met people that I am very excited about meeting. And it wouldn't have happened any other way. One door slammed shut and 10 doors opened. Thank you. Thank you for that pain, that suffering, that betrayal. Because without that betrayal, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I love who I am. And I hope that today you look at who you are, you learn from what happened, and you are able to find something to say thank you for because you deserve it. You deserve that. You deserve to know why this has created more value in your life. You deserve to see the doors that have opened, the amazing opportunities that have come to your life because someone decided to be selfish and betray you. And even if you're not in this space yet, it's okay. Compassion, love, grace. It's okay to not be okay. But keep asking yourselves the questions. And if someone truly loved you, they would never hurt you in that way. And if they did love you and they did hurt you in that way, they would take accountability, responsibility, and they would make it better. They would, because that's what love is. And I know that if you're watching this, you have made a mistake and you have done your best to be loving through it. If you are a forgiver, then you would forgive. It's very realistic to hold the person to the standards you hold yourself. So today, my challenge for you is how are you going to thank the people that have betrayed you, the people that have been selfish? And how has their betrayal and selfishness opened new doors of opportunity for you? And you don't have to tell them directly. Sometimes it might not go over as well as you think it would, but you can tell yourself, thank you, and let them know energetically, thank you. With all the love in the world, Aurora Heart Healing, Erica out.